Hi all my book loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Onyx Storm, right there, and we are going to talk about this book, Rebecca Yarros' third book of the Empyrean series. The first one is Fourth Wing, the second one is Iron Flame. I absolutely love this series. It's one of my favorite series. Mr. Gray right here, I'm considering to be called Xaden Gray after this one because I absolutely love Xaden. I mean, I've loved him in the Fourth Wing, but now as she develops him as a character, I adore him. I'm not going to jump into Fourth Wing and Iron Flame necessarily just because the Fantasy Girl podcast, Lexi and Nicole over there, two sisters, they do such a fabulous job at deep diving super into into these books and doing Thor lore and all of that. So I'm just going to be talking about Onyx Storm for right now, just because it's so fresh in my mind. I just finished it yesterday and I am giddy. I'm head over heels. I love this book. I'm thinking about also doing some of my own and annotating and all of that in the series. I was debating on whether or not to do that just because of Lexi and Nicole, but I think I should do it for myself, just mainly because I love the book so much. So I'm like, why not? Let me just show you right now the sweatshirt that I have on, my little hoodie. So this is my little hoodie here. It says Riders Quadrant, Bagath War College, Fourth Wing. This big one is her Violet, the main character's dragon, Terran. He's black, and then Endarna, who's her second one, is right there. So yeah, this is gonna be full of spoilers, and it's just gonna be basically my take on it. I know Lexi and Nicole are gonna do such a good job at deep diving more into this, so I don't want to take away from that. But I will just give my little synopsis about this book. It goes so much into the world more. It goes into these characters more. Rebecca has said that she writes in a W for these books, so there is going to be 5 books. This is the third one, so it's going to go like, here's Fourth Wing, blah blah blah. So yeah, so it's in a W right now, and I will say this one, as much as I saw the hype on social medias, and if you are on my social medias, I absolutely love these series. Xaden is my love of my life. He is my brand new #1 book boyfriend. Sorry, Mr. Darcy, but I love Xaden. Xaden is my love of my life. But anyways, so it is so good to see their story develop. Seeing my own struggles in Violet, seeing just how the dynamic of the different characters play. So this is a war college, so they are at war. Empyrean is the government of the dragons, and then there's Navarre, which is the continent, which is the humans. So you have the government of the dragons, and then you have the government of the people, and the dragons are bonded to the people at this war college. So there's that little backstory, and it goes deeper into it. Violet is our girl. She does have a disability where her joints go out of place. She is in constant pain. She was supposed to go to the scribes like her dad. Her dad was training her to do this. He passed away a year before this, and he from a failing heart. And of course there's rumors and all of that about how that goes about. But he died, and so her mom, who is the general of the human part, goes, okay, you're going into the writer's quadrant, which all her life she has not prepared for. These kids have prepared all their lives. They volunteer to go to this war college, to bond a dragon, to be magical, to do all these things. And she's like, the heck, I've never trained for this. This is so Violet has a brother who passed away, Brennan. He was the oldest. Then there's Mira, who is described just like her mom. So she wanted to go into the writer's quadrant. Brennan also did go into the writer's quadrant. Violet is the Ravenclaw of the Sorrengails, just like her dad, Asher, which I love that name. But anyways, he pretty much kept her with the books and all of that because her bones do break. And it's just a coming of story about Violet just not overcoming that flaw or imperfection. It's her owning it and being okay with it and seeing how it goes with all of these different scenarios of, her dragon, Terran. He's one of the biggest dragons. He's one of the baddest dragons. He's like the second most powerful dragon. And so and he's huge. So she has to deal with her. Like, she can't jump on and off of him. She can't even stay in her seat. And it's just these different things that she has to, it's not necessarily saying that she's weak. It's just her finding different ways to do that. And I love that. Onyx Storm now is, I've seen, it kind of ruined, somebody kind of ruined it for me, but it was my own fault. They said Xaden is such a simp for Violet. And I cannot 1,000% agree with that. I cannot more. Like 1,000 is as high as I'll go. And I totally agree that Xaden really comes into loving Violet way more than what he did in the other two. Now, does that take away from the other two? No, especially in Iron Flame, there's a one scene where he's, like, I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming into this relationship, whether you want to or not. And he's like, meaning himself, he's like, he will be playing the role of Violet Sorrengail this year instead of last year in Fourth Ring, where it was her trying to drag him into a relationship. So it's just kind of cute to see that now, in Iron Flame, that the roles are reversed. And now in Onyx Storm, it's like, I don't care. We are together. This is what we're doing. Just tell me what to do. And I love that. We also, like I said, this is going to be spoilers for out the whole entire thing. So with that being said, if you don't want it spoiled for you, go. Or if you already have read this book, great. I'm going to give you about 3 seconds to dip out because I have to talk about this. So 1, 2, 3. You have been warned. I knew that we were going to meet Xaden's mom. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. I knew it. I had it in my heart that everybody thought I was crazy. The fandoms and everybody on the forums of Facebook groups that I am on had really thought that I was crazy, that we weren't going to meet her. I was like, no, she's definitely on one of the aisles and we are going to meet her. I was right. Now, I didn't know which aisle because we hadn't gone to the aisle, so I didn't know which one. I didn't know that, he was going to have brothers, which is really, that was a big twist too, is the fact that, like, she left him and then she made this life for herself. Sorry about my voice. I do have a little bit of a cold, so I'm trying to drink some tea right now and all of that. But yeah, he, meeting her and seeing their dynamic, I just love how, Violet's mom, another spoiler, recently died. So, she's like, if you want to see your mom, go ahead and see your mom. I'll support you, but I'm not the one to ask about this because I would give anything to have like 10 more minutes with my mom, and I just love how she's, communicates that with him, but also, tells him, this is your choice and I will support you. And that's what every relationship deserves, is that sort of loving. Sorry, this is Kakarot. Say hi, Kaki. And my baby. He's a mama's boy. He's very scared of people, so he might run away. But, yeah. my baby. Anyways, he's, he goes, and then some stuff hits the fan, which, by the way, the fact that it hits the fan in the way that it does, I don't think it's going to get talked about. His mom didn't know that his mom's husband, I will say, poisoned or tried to poison Xaden. So the way she reacted, she didn't believe. She was like, "You poisoned my son." So I don't think that she knew about that. I think it's going to be brought up that she probably did. I don't think she did. As a mother myself and all of that, and the way that she said, "I couldn't take you. I wasn't allowed to take you to Xaden." Like, and he's just like, "You didn't try hard enough." I get where he's coming from. He was the heir. His dad was king of or Duke of Aracia, Terrandor province. So I get that she wasn't allowed to take him because he was royalty. He was next in line. She couldn't do it. And it broke her heart. And I get that. And so I understand. I don't know. I guess I just have more of a soft spot for his mom than what him or the book really gave it justice for, to be honest. But I don't think that it's gonna be the last that we see her. I honestly think in the fourth book, she is gonna play a pivotal role, an important role. She is going to play. She's either gonna betray her husband and get those kids out of there, get her kids out of there, or her husband's gonna befall something ill, so she's gonna have to be in action, to oversee the new kingdom that she has, and she's gonna help Xaden. And I think that is gonna be something that should be explored. I think that'd be very interesting because Violet does poison, him back and all of that. That I think she's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, interesting," Now to Xaden just being absolutely amazing. I cannot wait, to be honest, for the audio graphic novel of this book, because Gabriel as Xaden, his voice, oh my god, by the way, he does such a good job at Xaden that that's all I heard in Onyx Storm, to be honest, is Gabriel's voice. Bye, Cac. He does such a good job that that's all I heard. And there are some lines in this book that he is, that I cannot wait to hear Gabriel say. Where there's like one part where they're sparring, and before in book 1 and 2, they don't spar with their signets because the government didn't want them to know, the human government didn't want them to know about Venin, which is the baddie bats. And so, he's like, okay, so now he's a professor, which I thought was so cute. I was like, oh my god. And then she's like, nope, in a relationship because, you're a professor, which good on Vi on that one, because honestly, that would be me. I'd be like, oh, you're this now, and this section of the, handbook says this and all of that. That's why I read handbooks, because I'm like, all right, what are the rules, right? And so she's like, no. And then he's like, no, we're just going to be sneaky about it, right? Which doesn't happen. But anyways, so he's doing sparring with their signets because Venin's not going to care. They're going to be battling these kids. I mean, they're 21, 22, 23, 24 years old. So I'll still call them kids. But anyways, they're sparring with these kids and all of that. So they're going to be using signets. So they're going to have to hone in their signet powers for that. And so there's this part where he's challenging all the squads and all of that, and he's like, no exceptions, you too, Sorengale, right? And one of the kids says something about nobody can take Xaden down, and Xaden's like, oh, there's only one. Only one person that can take him down, and that is Vi. Now, granted, he does give her his little tidbits on how to beat him. But she is a lightning wielder. He is a shadow wielder. I strongly believe Reese from Akatar ran so Xaden could walk. If I honestly think they're related somehow, some way, through some weird time zone, fanfic, whatever. Xaden is a descendant of Reese. I will say that. I will die on that hill because they are so similar. But in a good way, not like in a plagiarism way. It's in a good way. I love it. But anyway, so they're on the mat and she's a white lightning wielder and he surrounds her with shadows. Now, seeing how he is a professor, he is not allowed to touch her. He's not allowed to do anything. But because of these shadows, he's like full on kissing her, and she's like, oh my god this, oh my god that, right? And he's like, you need to find me. And so, she looks right and all of that stuff. But it was just cute how he enveloped them in like this shadow dust thing and he kissed her, and it was just so cute that like, he will break the rules for her, and that is so adorable. Next I wanted to talk about Riddick. I love Riddick. Throughout this whole entire series, he is one of my favorite characters, of course. He's a lot of people's character. Onyx Storm, we get more of him. He is funny, yes, but I see him as Ron, to be honest, where he's funny, like book Ron, not movie Harry Potter Ron, book Ron. He's funny, but he's also very knowledgeable. And what I love is that we get to see him interact with his dragon. So Terran is more like an old man. He's a general in the Empyrean sort of government. And so Riddick's dragon is the same age as Riddick. So Riddick talks about to Violet that he put itching powder when they were flying on his dragon, and so to get him back, his dragon's like dousing him in water, and he's just like, no, that doesn't count, and all this stuff. And it's like a little playful back and forth that like even dragons can have fun, right? Like, they can be not so serious, and that's what's perfect for Riddick's dragon, is because Riddick is not so serious. He's serious when it has to be, and that's exactly what his dragon is. And so it's just really cute to see them kind of play off each other like that, and that was adorable. Now, I did not see, I will say not 100%, I was 20% into the camp of that Violet dated Aric's brother, who's the prince of Navarre. I did not see it necessarily coming. I kind of thought she may have had a crush on him, or it was the brother that Xaden killed. I did not think that it was they were in a relationship and then she caught him cheating, which the fact that when Xaden finds out, and Xaden, oh my god, I love that kid. He can do no harm, I swear. He full on just like, going back thinking about it, he full on goes into like overprotective boyfriend mode and just like totally hits like Halden on his butt, which is the prince, by the way. He's the next in line, but Xaden's the professor, and Halden pretty much like totally just hits on Violet right in front of him, and Xaden throws him with his shadows, and Xaden's like, oh, all I did was just ruin his pride, but like, how dare he do that, when even Violet said that I'm with Xaden, like, I love him. And then Xaden, during the night, goes to Violet's place and is like, do you love him? Do you love him? Like, did you love him? And she's like, it's not the same. And like, I don't feel that way with how I feel about you. Like, he actually did something. You didn't do anything wrong. This is totally different. And it's just really cute to see Xaden jealous. Like, we saw him jealous in the first 2 books with Eidos, but this is something completely different because Halden, she felt deeper for him. Now, I'm going to get to the end of this book because I need to talk about it. The fact that they are married and the fact that she is now Duchess of Arisha, I think is going to play a way bigger role than how it was described as the cliffhanger. I mean, Bodhi doesn't want to have it. He already said that. So now that takes him off. And I think that's why they did it, is because, honestly, I think a little part of it was for that. Also, the fact that she was the one that was in charge of the missions of going to the Isles. And she was doing all of that stuff. She didn't back down with Daddy Atos. She didn't back down with Halden. She totally understood that that Terrandor is something that needs to be protected, and she would always fight that for and with Xaden, whatever it needed to be. So the fact that they are married now, but he is gone, and he's like, don't look for me, is kind of pulled an Edward Cullen, but in a whole more badass Xaden way. Like, I don't know. Now, there's a lot of talk saying that Bodhi is going to like have a crush on Violet and all of this stuff. Now, do I think that they might be they're probably gonna rule together? I think so, just because Bodhi is like here's Xaden, and then like Bodhi's always second. Like, compared to Xaden, he's always the second. Like, he looks like Xaden but not as handsome. He fights like Xaden but just not as well. That I think in order to get what would Xaden do in this situation, she will go to Bodhi and she'll be like, well, you know, what do you think he would do in this situation? And a lot of times we see that in all these books. She's like, you know, she doesn't have that confidence to speak to you know, the general. She doesn't have, you know, this confidence to speak to you know, the Isles, and she tells herself, fake it like Xaden, fake it like he does. What would he do? And she puts herself in that role, and I think that is so cute. I think that is adorable. He is ruthless. He does not care. He does not care who he hurts, how he hurts them, but he does care about his provenance, and he does care about Violet. And those are the two things, and Sigil, which is his dragon, who I love. I love Sigil. We get a little bit of Sigil in this one, and every single time she's on the book, I just scream with delight because I love her. I would hope, you know, she would back me up in a couple of situations. You know, she says that she bonded Xaden for his ruthlessness, because like Violet's like, he's gonna kick the shit out of this person, can you please stop him? And she's like, no, this is why I chose him, is because he's, you know, he's a dick. And I love that. I love that. She just does not care. And it's so cute. But anyways, I absolutely love this book. I just wanted to talk it out because it's so fresh in my mind still. I'm still trying to figure out what the fourth one's going to be about now. I know the fantasy, like I said, the fantasy podcast, they're going to do such a good job. But I wanted to say I was right about Xaden's mom. I knew we were going to meet her. Everybody thought that I was crazy, but I knew it. I knew it. And I was happy that I knew that. That really helped me. Now, we're going to go into Violet's second signet, Dreamwalking. Nobody saw this coming. I will say, and maybe some of you guys did, that she was a dreamwalker. I didn't necessarily know that was a thing. That I mean, I guess nothing's off the table, right? That a signet can be anything. But the fact that she can, it's an intrinsic sort of thing, which is very forbidden in the world that we are in. And also the reason why Atos, Dane Atos can survive is because he has to touch somebody. Violet doesn't have to do that. I don't think. I'm going to have to reread it and figure it out and go back, because she was really far away from Xaden and she was still in his dreams. I don't think she was close to Mira either, and she had a dream about her. I don't know how that works, but she altered the dream a little bit, like kind of like a Divergent sort of a thing, if you've read those books, where she's like, this isn't real. Like, that's what she did in Xaden's dream. She's like, this isn't real. Like, this is a dream. Like, you're fine. You're back with me in bed. Like, get out of this nightmare, sort of a deal. Now, there's a lot of theories saying that one of the Venom Masters, sages, or whatever you want to call them, is also a dream walker as well. That's an interesting theory, because magic always has to have balance, right? So there's that. Now let's get into Imogen. I love Imogen. She is very awesome. She is very interesting. She pushes Vi in a way that needs to be pushed. She does have a crush on Garrick. We learned in fanfic of some of Xaden's point of views. Actually, I don't think they're fanfics at all. I think they're actually real chapters. I haven't really read them. Haven't like sourced them out or anything. But there is one where, also too in Iron Flame. No. Or Fourth Wing, where Violet does ask Xaden, does Imogen have a crush on you? And he's like, why are you bringing this up? And she's like, well, because when you were on the mat sparring, she was looking like how I was looking. And he's like, okay. And she was like, yeah, you and Garrick were sparring. And he's like, okay, listen to what you just said right there, and then think about somebody else. And that's when she's like, oh, she has a crush on Garrick. And here, one of their mates, their friends, Quinn, dies, and she tells Imogen that she needs to tell Garrick, and Garrick is like pretty much holding Imogen's neck, and is just like, she will not die right here. She will be, to Malik and all of that. And that was really cool to see there. And Imogen does get a chapter, which I thought was really good. Eric, Cam. I'm going to call him by his original name, Cam. He is a cog. Like, what? He can see things that before they happen. So, he tells, which I thought he was, because of the way that he tells Violet she needs to be at the temple, and that's how you save Arisha. I was like, that's interesting. Why is that a thing? So I thought that was very interesting, very cool, very him, because that would make him, I will say, perfect for the throne. But his brother's still alive, so I don't know. His brother's Halden is a major douche caboot, is what I will call him, is a douche caboot. He messes up a very big alliance. Violet and Xaden come in and save the day. So does Adarna, because she's awesome, and all of that. And it's just interesting to see this dynamic. I will say one of the aisles, because we have to talk about it, because how am I not going to talk about it, right? One of the aisles, they like, each aisle is to one of the gods. So there's the god of luck, there's the god of love, there's the god of war, there's the god of blah 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 blah. And they dedicate their lives to god of wisdom, and they dedicate their lives to this, right? This isle. And so there's one, they go to the one for luck. And you know, they come down, and I guess word spread that this Violet and her they called quest squad, right? Go to this island, and they've been waiting, these people have been waiting for them. And so she gets there, and the lady's like, first let's play some games and festivities and all this. And so they have to play along, and she's like, you have to accept these gifts, whatever you pick, and you can't complain about it, right? And so like Cat, I think, gets a necklace. Looks kind of worthless. Drake, which is a Griffin rider, he gets this cute orange tabby, right? This cutest little orange tabby. And, you know, he's like, and then Xaden's like, great, what are we going to do with that for the rest of the trip, right? Which I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. Just little fight goggles and everything. He names this cat, this little cute kitten, Broccoli. And Mira's like, why did you name this cat Broccoli? And he's like, because nobody wants broccoli, but it's good for you, right? Which I thought was totally cute. And then Mira's like, then why didn't you name it Carrots? Like, why did you name it Broccoli? And Drake being Drake and Mira being Mira, Drake goes, just to piss you off. And I was screaming. I was like, what do we know about our broody boys? I was like, yes. Like, I love that. I love the fact that he was just like, I just want to piss you off. Oh. I mean, honestly though, if anybody said that to me in real life, I'll clap back. I'll clap back so hard, and I'll say some horty-torty, stupid remark. But inside, I'd be screaming. I'd be like, oh my god, I think I fell for you a little bit harder. Like, you're playing a little mind of wits with me here. Which I love, by the way. And so that was really cute. Xaden, so they have to like pick these cards, right? So Xaden, he picks one. It's an empty chest, and he's like, great, empty chest. What is that? I think it's going to play a bigger role. I really do, because of the fact that what we know from Rebecca Yarros is nothing is as it seems. Nothing. That's one of the things you got to keep with these books, is that there is so many layers to a thing. She would not say it unless it was important, right? And so Dane, he gets he gets a hand, and everybody's like, okay, like I thought it was like a clap, like a cheer or something like that, and it ends up because they can't react, right? So he gets slapped in the face. Justice done. I honestly think Rebecca did that just so we can all have that satisfaction of fucking Dane, right? Like, just give us that satisfactory that eventually he gets slapped, and he deserves it 1,000%. But he gets slapped, and he's just like, thanks. Right? Which I thought was very adorable and very cute. He did it with so much poise, and very respectful. And then Violet, of course, we have to talk about it because she's our main girly, our baddie bad. I love her. She reminds me so much of myself, just her inner monologues, and just how when it's time to be brave, she's brave, and you know, she can spout out facts and all this stuff. That, like, that's how I feel. I am as too. And so she gets a broken compass. A broken compass. Where have we seen that before? Pirates of the Caribbean, right? That's where we saw that before. And that wasn't as what it seems. It points to what you most want. Now, there's a lot of theories saying that it's going to point to Venin, which would be interesting. Does it point to where magic is for the Isles, and where the Irids are? And Darna's species, she's the 7th dragon, and she's the secret one. Now, is it going to point to them? That'd be interesting. Sitting here talking with you guys? Is it going to be pointing to, you know, where to find weaknesses in the wards, maybe? But so Xaden gets his chest, but anyways, Xaden gets his chest first, and then she's like, I don't know, it's a broken compass. And you know, he's like, great, you can put it in my empty chest and we can put it on the nightstand in our room. And I was like, yes, that sarcasm dripping down. And he's like, I got a solution for you, babe. Like, don't even stress. Like, I know exactly. Like, he's already thinking about where he's gonna put his empty chest with her. That was so cute. And like I said, nothing is as it seems, and so there's a deeper layer to that. And I see that deeper layer with Xaden. You know, he's like, great, we're gonna do this. Like, oh, so cute, so cute. I freaking love it. This book, I will say, it did not break me. I did not cry. I did not. I cried at certain parts, but I did not cry in the way that a lot of my group fourth wing chats and all of that made it appear. Now, does that mean I'm heartless? I don't know, because, you know, everybody's like, that ending broke me, and I'm like, maybe I'm just used to heartbreak. Because, you know, Xaden's gone. I don't know. Maybe because I know for a fact that Rebecca Yarros said Riddick is going to be good. In multiple interviews, she said Riddick's fine. She also said that Xaden is Ingate and that she doesn't like tropes. She does not like love triangles. So, but she's also has said she needs to break these people down to build them back up. Now, I think that is where we are with this. It's going to start off bad, still, like a little bit more shit's going to happen, and then it's going to build it up. By the time that we get to the 5th book, it's going to be fine, because she says she loves happy endings. Now, some of her books, from what I've heard in her romance books, that's not the case. And clearly she has written 3 of them, and we're still on this journey with her. So, I don't know. But my thing is that she said that she has to take a little bit of a break. She promised her children, which I totally get. As a writer, you know, you have a lot of stuff to do, so I get that she wants to take a break. She also writes a romance novel in between each of the books, so I also get that. Just kind of taking a breather. She does have the last 2 books plotted out, so that kind of makes me feel like, okay, it will come. Right now, 2026, 2027 is probably where we're going to see the next one. But I am here for it. I'm here for the ride. I absolutely listen to the graphic novels in my, you know, the audio almost every single day when I go to bed. Especially that throne scene. Okay, I know. We're not going to talk about, like, there's this chair in this one. And I was thinking about this because we know I love dark romance and all of that. I was like, can he use his shadow? In the second one, I was like, did he use his shadows during the throne scene to, like, her? You know, I was like, did he? And then in this one, with a chair, he is freaking strapping her down with his shadow. Oh my god. Oh, like he can still use his hands and do other things while his shadows is holding her down. In a very sexual way, in a very consent way, in a very safe way, not in like, oh my, you know, sort of a way. But I will say, are they mates? I will agree that with there was a Q&A with Nicole and Lexi on Fantasy Girl podcast, and they were like, I think it is, but in a totally different way, because of course with Rebecca, not everything is as it seems, and there's more layers to it than what is there on the surface. Like, we get this much when the layers are like an iceberg, right? And so it's very complicated, I think, not just because they're her Terran and Sigil, which Sigil is Xaden's, Violet's is Terran. They're mated. Not only that, but they're also both intrinsics. They're also both, bonded to each other. They can also feel each other. They're drawn to each other magnetically. They have this deep love, and I understand, like, it'd be great if they weren't, just because of the fact that their love is so deep, their love is so pure, like that they will, it's one of those things that, like the villain, like, they're not heroes. They're both, like, in a way, villains. They will watch the world burn to save the other person, but they're both on that level. Like, I would love to have that. Like, I'm that type of person that will sacrifice everything for you, for the person that I love. But if I don't receive that in return, there's no point in me staying. So, that's probably why I love Xaden, because he is that tenfold. He also keeps a line of communication to Violet, especially in this one. He develops so much better. Instead of going, you have to ask questions, but it's also questions that she's not afraid to ask anymore. They kind of just got over whatever beef they had in Iron Flame. They moved on. Violet's like, no, this is the only man in my life for me. And I absolutely love that. I love that 1,000 times. Xaden, he communicates with her, like, he's like, is this what you want to do? Is this not what you want to do? There is a point on an island that has no magic. They can't talk to each other. And so he's like, this is my, my consort. And it's like, she's like, I wish we had the bond right now, because what the hell is that, right? Like, he just doesn't care. And then her brother is like, why does this say consort? You know what I mean? And he's like, and there was a little joke earlier that, like, Violet's like, I don't think boyfriend is the right word for you, because they feel so much deeper for each other. And so he's like, okay, well, since I'm the Duke of, Orisha, let me just say consort, because that means you have access to everything that I have access. You will be heard. And she is ruthless in that way when it comes to strategy with talking with people. And I feel like that's me too. With, I keep an inventory of all the wrong, not like, I know that sounds bad, but like, if something's out of policy with a company or a job or whatever, I keep an inventory of that, like harassment, whatever, not going deep. Like, I don't do it on purpose. It's just like, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. But, if you try to come at me saying I'm doing something wrong and I'm rule breaking, it's like, no, you are, because of this. And I just lay it down where I have the upper hand. I don't know. Maybe it's like a control thing. And I feel that for Violet. Like, I feel that, like, you need to feel that in that way. And it's so satisfactory to see that the other person just has, like, no clue, and they take, they see you lesser. What is that called? Like, they underestimate you. And a lot of times Violet gets underestimated because she is weak, because she is small, because her bones break, because she is who she is. But at the same time and time again, because Terran bonded her, because Adarna bonded her, because she has lightning, she is one of the baddest bads of this series. And I love that. And because it's not like a, well, of course she is, sort of a thing. It's like, no, she has all these things going against her, and yet she still goes, and that is amazing. But anyways, I just think it's awesome. I love this series. Like I said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, just because of that fact. I do want to get to the Powerless and the Reckless series. Anyways, I want to know your guys' thoughts about, if you guys have read Onyx Storm. I would definitely love to hear your guys' theories, your thoughts. If you love Fantasy Girl podcasts as much as I do, I am obsessed with them. I love them. They are amazing. I am almost done now that I've read Onyx Storm. I kind of put my other books on hold right now that I'm reading just because this came out and I got it and I was like, oh, nope. It's going to be all over my social media, everywhere, YouTube, all of that. That I was like, oh, I got to read this before I, get it spoiled, And so kind of put my other books on the back burner. I do have the Reckless series that I want to do, the Powerless series, Quicksilver. I have right now, I'm almost done with Fireborn series, and there's 3 in those. It's I'm almost done with the first book, Fireborn, and then there's Flamefall, and then there's Fury Song. I do have a lot of series right now that I want to get to. A lot of books that I want to get to for you guys, so you guys can have more of that. There's also the Meg Cabot's what is it called, Mediator series that I want to do. It's one of my favorites. I want to atone that book too while I go through it and everything. There's also the ACOTAR. There's also Throne of Glass. There's Stacey Cade's Ghost and the Goth, which, oh my gosh, woo! Anyways, I'm just going back into these books. I'm just like, oh, but yeah, I just want to talk about our Onyx Storm a little bit with you guys. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved it a lot. A lot of people say that they couldn't necessarily get through the first book because Violet's so whiny. We need to just remember, I'm not trying to sway you a different way just because I love these books so much. She is 21 years old. We have made reckless decisions when we are younger. I saw a lot of myself in that way of being pushed into something that you didn't want to do, in a path that you didn't want to choose. I get her on that level. She, like I said, she is 21 years old. Her whole entire world gets uprooted at the end of book 1. So book 2, yes, she does have that little whiny sort of a thing. Book 3, Xaden is a broodster. He broods harder than frickin' Jace Wayland and Mortal Instruments brood. And I am here for it. I love that. Xaden always kind of broods. And I mean, he's a shadow wielder, so of course he has to brood. He's the biggest emo boy in the world, right? I will say he comes second. Like him and Jace Wayland are probably close on the brooding scales there for sure. And I just love it. I just love him. Like I said, go check out the graphic novel too, on audio. I keep saying that graphic novel, but it's like a movie in your head, right? So it has like different voices, not just the author doing different voices, which I have the audio book for Quicksilver, and I was like, these voices, like, I don't know, it's just something about it that hits different with the Empyrean series of having that. I also have ACOTAR as a graphic audio, and I don't know, it's just something about Gabriel's voice. Gabriel does do ACOTAR series too. I believe he is Lucian in that. So I love Gabriel. I love his voice. Fantasy fangirls interview him, and it's cute. He's so adorable. He's the most adorable man. In like a pat you're cute way, not like feelers way. But anyways, he's a very attractive man, don't get me wrong. I love Gabriel though. His mind, the way he works, the way he brings Xaden to life on the audio is very, he gets him on a level that I get him on. But I'm a girl, unfortunately, so I can't be like, huh, my throat. Like I can't even do it. Like the way that Gabriel does it so much justice. I mean, that's what I already heard is Xaden be, and then once I heard the graphic, I was like, oh yeah, that's him right there for sure. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, get my thoughts in here about it. Like I said, I have a lot of other books that I am reading right now. So I'm going to try and, like I said, do these once a month. I mean, I might do 2 a month. I really want to deep dive into them more, give you like more of a synopsis, give you more of things. Please give me feedback. What you want to see more of. I did switch up my background a little bit just because I find this to be more comfy. You know, I'm still trying to find my niche, my thing. Just let me know, you know, anything that you want to share, your thoughts. Like I said, I love Violet. I love it all. I love the world. I can't wait to go back into it. I can't wait to reread it. See, now that I know, you know, this is my first read through, and I'm just like, bleh, you know, I want to go back and do more into it. But like I said, the Fantasy Fangirls, they're going to do such a good job with that. I don't want to mess on that. Sort of a deal. So I'm going to do other books instead for right now. But like I said, I love this book. And I mean, how can you not? Like, look at this. Look at this. It is black up top and it is gray on the bottom, and it goes into that. And then this is all like just gold. And then it says Brave the Dark right there. Like, how could I not like this book? Like, it just screams me. And then the dedication, which a lot of people, it made me cry. This is where I cried. The dedication made me freaking cry. And this is what Rebecca wrote. To the ones who don't run with a popular crowd. Like, I'm going to cry again. The ones who get caught reading under their desks. The ones who feel like they never get invited, included, or represented. Get your leathers on. We have dragons to ride. Like, what? Like, that. Like I said, it's going to make me cry. Like, that already just made me. We are on this journey with her. Because she also said that, Rebecca also said that she used to get caught reading underneath her desk a lot. And I feel you, girl. Sort of a thing. But anyways, so yeah, like, I love this. Like, look how awesome that is. Like, just the detail in this, and just, I don't know, you see how much thought is put into these books. You see how much love and care is put into these books. I don't know. For me, I absolutely love it. I think it is amazing. There is a lot of talk because the first book is gold, and then it kind of, like, it's gold, and then the second one's gold into red, into black. This one's black going into silver, right here, gray. And then I'm like, I wonder if the next one's going to be silver going into ultraviolet, almost, you know, sort of a thing. And then the last 5th book is going to be like that ultraviolet to gold. So then you can, like, you know, whatever on that. But anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.